Hi and welcome to Home Cooking with Mimi. Today we're making ragu. Ragu, also known as bolognese, is a delicious Italian meat sauce that is packed with flavor. It turns pasta from a simple to an elegant dish you can serve to your dinner guests. For this recipe we need 2 carrots, 1 white onion, and 2 ribs of celery. Chop up all the vegetables into very small pieces. Otherwise, you can cheat and pulse them in a food processor. The veggies won't look as pretty, but it will save you at least 10 minutes, and the ragu will be just as delicious. In a non-stick pan over high heat, add a few tablespoons olive oil. Then we want to add all those chopped veggies. I have a question for you. In our home, we always call this sauce ragu. Actually, I should say ragu. However, I've heard people call it bolognese. So I'm wondering which is more common. Please comment below ragu or bolognese, or maybe you call it something else altogether. I'd love to know. In the beginning, it looks like a lot of veggies, but they will quickly halve in volume. Let the veggies cook for about 10 minutes while you keep stirring so they don't burn. Whilst the veggies are cooking, I like to start breaking up the minced beef. Add the minced beef to the veggies when they're golden, but before they start burning. All the steps in this recipe are really easy. There's not much that can go wrong. It just takes a bit of time. But don't worry, once we add in the tomato puree, you can be in another room doing whatever it is that you need to do, and the ragu will keep cooking by itself. As you can see, I'm breaking up the meat with a spatula. I like the meat in the sauce to be as finely chopped as possible so that it blends in better with the other ingredients. When you're happy with the size of the meat, season it with a pinch of salt and pepper. This will help the meat and the vegetables release even more of their liquid. And we want all that liquid to evaporate before moving on to the next step. So keep cooking the meat for about 10 minutes and every once in a while stir it so it doesn't burn. When all the water from the meat has evaporated, you will be able to hear a more intense sizzling noise. You will also see that the meat starts to brown at the bottom of the pan. When that happens, add the red wine. Your kitchen will smell amazing. Let the wine cook a few minutes so that all the alcohol evaporates before adding the tomato puree. Top tip, buy a good quality tomato puree. Ragu is a pretty fancy sauce, so don't ruin it with a cheap tomato puree. Been there, done that. To counterbalance the acidity of the puree and of the wine, we'll add a small teaspoon of sugar. And once again, season the sauce with salt and pepper. The ragu will look very wet when you first add the tomato puree. But don't worry, a lot of the liquid is going to simmer away. After adding the tomato puree, turn the heat down to low. Then cover the ragu and let it cook for at least 1.5 hours, stirring every half hour so that the sauce doesn't burn. After 1.5 hours, our ragu is ready, and it smells heavenly. Ragu is quite time consuming, so I like to make it in big batches. But the good news is it freezes really well. When you want to eat it, just warm it up on the stovetop and enjoy. Today I'm having ragu with pasta. If you have tagliatelle, I recommend you use those because they help you scoop up a lot of the ragu. Otherwise, for those who have run out of tagliatelle like me, you can use other types of pasta like penne or spaghetti. I really hope you like this Italian ragu sauce. Please remember to give the video a thumbs up. Or a thumbs down, the choice is yours. And as always, thanks for watching!